Nestled within the serene cul-de-sac of Willow Pines Estate, a neighborhood known for its manicured lawns and obsessively maintained HOA rules, trouble was the last thing anyone expected. That is, until one sleepy Sunday afternoon in May, when a loud crash shattered the calm like a rock through a window. Jason McAllister, the new renter at 127B, had only been in the neighborhood for 3 weeks. A freelance graphic designer by day and amateur mechanic by night, Jason was known for tinkering with his old Nissan Maxima in the garage. He wasn't unfriendly, but he kept to himself, something the HOA quietly appreciated. The accident happened just after lunch. Jason had decided to back his car out of the garage to check on a strange clunking noise. But in a moment of distraction, perhaps a foot slipped, perhaps his cat darted across the driveway, the Maxima jolted forward instead of reversing. With a sickening crunch, it rammed straight into the front door of the rental house, splintering the mahogany and cracking the adjacent brick frame. Neighbors came running. Windows opened. Lawn sprinklers kept spinning. Jason, embarrassed and still gripping the steering wheel, stepped out to assess the damage. His eyes widened at the destruction. The door, once a heavy, customized solid-core installation with beveled glass panels, was now a grotesque mess of wood shards and bent hinges. The frame looked worse. That evening, the homeowner, Laura Benton, received a call from her neighbor across the street. "You'd better get over here. Your renter just drove through the front of your house." Laura, a retired high school principal and stickler for order, was at her cabin in Lake Tahoe. She drove back the next morning, her calm demeanor eroding with each passing mile. When she arrived and saw the damage with her own eyes, she didn't say a word to Jason. Instead, she took photos, circled the house twice, and called her lawyer. 3 days later, Jason received a formal letter taped to the temporary plywood door. It read, "Notice of damage penalty. Dear Mr. McAllister, as a homeowner of 127B Willow Pines and in accordance with the Willow Pines HOA Bylaws Section 3.7, Structural Integrity and Responsibility, you are hereby fined $5,000 for the damage caused to the property's primary entrance. The fine must be paid within 30 calendar days or will be escalated through legal channels and reported to the HOA board. Sincerely, Laura Benton." Jason couldn't believe it. $5,000? It was an accident, and he had already contacted his auto insurance, who suggested the matter would fall under homeowner's insurance. But Laura wouldn't budge. "I'm not claiming this through my homeowner's insurance," she said curtly when Jason tried to reason with her. "You caused the damage. Your car. Your mistake. You're responsible. But the deductible alone—" "Not my problem," she cut him off. Jason attended the next HOA meeting, hoping to get some support or at least a mediator. The board consisted of 5 members, all longtime residents who sipped sparkling water and wore reading glasses on chains. "I'm not contesting that I hit the door," Jason explained to the panel. "But $5,000? That seems excessive." Board President Cheryl Dennings adjusted her glasses. "Mr. McAllister, did you damage the door?" "Yes." "Was it an accident involving your vehicle?" "Yes." Then per Section 3.7, Ms. Benton is within her rights to issue a fine to cover replacement and repair. If you believe the amount is unreasonable, you may submit a written dispute along with evidence, and we'll review it within 15 business days. Jason returned home defeated. He began gathering quotes. 3 contractors later, he discovered the original door, custom order from a boutique manufacturer, would cost nearly $3,200 to replace. With frame and structural repairs, the bill might realistically hit $5,000. Still, he submitted a dispute, suggesting a payment plan or partial forgiveness. 15 business days later, the HOA issued its final response. HOA Review Decision. Dear Mr. McAllister, after reviewing your dispute and supporting documents, the board upholds the original fine. Due to the premium materials used in the door's construction and the structural damage to the frame and surrounding brick, the $5,000 fine is considered proportionate. You may contact Ms. Benton directly to arrange payment, or legal proceedings will commence. Respectfully, Willow Pines HOA. Jason sighed and scratched his head. He had just started catching up on freelance gigs and couldn't spare $5,000 in a lump sum. After some negotiation, Laura agreed to a monthly payment plan, $500 per month for 10 months, with an addendum added to his lease. As the months passed, the new door was installed. It was identical to the last, maybe even sturdier. Neighbors returned to their gossip and garden parties. Jason, a bit more careful now when moving his car, became the story that every neighbor told newcomers. Oh, and be careful in the driveway. We had a guy once who rammed the front door with his car. Cost him $5,000. Eventually, Jason finished the payments. He even came to appreciate Laura's no-nonsense attitude. "You run a tight ship," he said one day, handing her the final check. "And you learned a valuable lesson," she replied with a smile. He had. In a neighborhood like Willow Pines, one mistake could quite literally cost you a door and $5,000. Moral of the story: always double-check your gear shift, and never underestimate the power of an HOA with photographic evidence and a firm grasp of bylaws.